Hey guys, I wanted to talk a bit more about terpenes today. So terpenes are the essential oils of all plants. All plants have them, and they seem to be, from what I've read, is that they seem to be a defense system for that plant to keep it healthy. So some terpenes will attract certain insects and others will repel certain ones, and that helps to keep the plant healthy and sort of send off signals. And in aromatherapy, you get your bottle of essential oil, and it's going to have a ratio of different terpenes. And when you breathe in, when you inhale it, or when you put the oil on your skin, you are absorbing or inhaling the terpenes, and that's what's giving the medicinal effects. And yeah, there's lots of different ones, but the one I'm going to focus on today is limonene. And limonene is in it's like in the rinds of various citrus fruits, and also things like ginger will have limonene in. And if you cut into an orange or something, you know, you get this burst of the oils coming out of the rind, and you get that limonene that shines through. But I wanted to look into limonene a bit further because from what I am realizing about my own body and my own conditions is that if I use a strain that's too high in limonene, then I feel like it makes me quite anxious and it stops me sleeping. And it's basically really uplifting. It's very antidepressant, but it can have that edge of anxiety and insomnia as well. And I've wasted money going through strains that I wasn't looking at the terpene content at the time. I was just sort of buying strains that I thought sounded quite calming, but when it came down to vaping them, I think they had too much limonene in and they made me anxious. The one that I can think of the most was LA Kush Cake, which definitely made me quite anxious. So now I'm on a bit of a mission because I think that if I keep the limonene content under about 15%, give or take, you know, I think that I'm hoping anyway that the strains that I get will be calming and they won't make me feel too anxious. So that's my plan. Trying to pick the right strains and save money. And if any of you guys are sensitive to limonene as well, or if you think you might be, then maybe see whether you can pick some strains that are lower in limonene, and see if that helps. You know, especially if you are experiencing anxiety when you use a particular strain. It might not be the limonene, you know, there's loads of other factors. It could be that the THC is like really high and that's making you feel a bit anxious. It could be, you know, that it's a sativa strain and that might be making you feel anxious. But limonene, I think, is part of the puzzle for me. So I went and bought this bottle of pure limonene because I wanted to see what the actual terpene, the isolated terpene smelled like. And I'm going to do this with all of them. I'm going to buy all of them, and I'm going to try and train my nose to recognize all the different terpenes. Firstly, because I'm kind of fascinated by it, because I was an aromatherapist, and I love scent. I love things that are fragrant, and I was just interested to smell pure limonene. I thought that it was going to smell exactly like lemons because it's of the name, but it doesn't. It smells like oranges. It was really strange. I was really expecting it to be like almost lemongrassy, or you know, like lemon essential oil, but it smells very strongly of orange. It's got a slight mintiness as well. It's got a little bit of freshness as the sort of top note, but the main thing I can smell is like orange oil. And I think I don't have any orange oil, but if I had it, I would think I'd be quite hard pressed to tell the difference between that and this pure limonene. I mean, it does smell lemony as well. It smells citrusy, but it smells more on the orange front than the lemon front. And, you know, it's lovely. It's very clear. You know, it clears your head. It's very uplifting. I definitely feel like I get a very strong antidepressant factor from strains that have a fair bit of limonene in. And for a daytime strain, I do like a little bit of limonene because it is uplifting. But for nighttime strains, I don't feel like I need any limonene really, because I'm not looking for the antidepressant factor at night. I'm looking for anti-anxiety, pain relief and sleep. And, you know, it's the same with aromatherapy. You wouldn't really want to particularly have a massage at, you know, like 10 or 11 at night with citrus oils, because it's quite they're quite energizing oils. And it's the same with vaping, I think. So that's what I'm looking to do. I had a couple of I wrote down a few of the properties of limonene. So the first one is antidepressant, which to me feels very tangible. I mean, like strawberry glue's got a fair bit of limonene. I can't remember how much it's got in there. I think it might be, is it 25%, something like that? And I find that really good. It's a really good antidepressant strain for me. But it's not the most calming anti-anxiety one, and it's not one that I use in the evening. I tend to use it in the day, or I won't use it if I've got lots of things to do. But I do like a little bit of limonene in my strains in the day. So if you have really severe depression, you know, maybe that is the terpene for you. You know, maybe your depression's worse than your anxiety and you want to, like, you know, help with medicating for depression, then I would say look for higher strains with higher limonene. But for me, where my anxiety is worse than my depression, I think keeping the limonene content lower is probably a good idea. So anyway, you've got antidepressant, and then second thing, it says anti-anxiety. So, you know, I don't feel like it helps my anxiety, but it's on the list. So I'll include that. And then it says antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, and anti-cancer. I'm sure there's probably more, but they seem to be like the main medicinal effects that limonene has. If you're interested in different temperatures to vape according to what terpene you want to burn off, it's 177 degrees to vape at to get the limonene extracted properly. And I've also written a list of of all of the strains that are currently available on the medical market that have 15% limonene or less. So if any of you are sensitive to limonene, or you think you might be, or you just want to like experiment and, you know, sort of see, you know, if you are sensitive to it, these ones are all 15% or less. And these are the indicas and the indica dominant hybrids. So we've got powdered donuts, Equiposa, Tripoli, AC/DC cookies, LA Confidential, Herijuana, Warlock, High Silver, Frosted Lemon Angel, Glory Some Cookies, Gorilla Glue 4, Peyote Critical, White Widow, Talea, Afghan Kush, and Lemon Skunk. So they're the ones that are available currently, and the ones that are on the list that say that they're coming soon. And anything can happen on the medical market. You know, sometimes strains get delayed coming into the country. Sometimes they just get, you know, they don't come through. So this isn't a definite that they're coming in, but it looks like they might be. So we've got Cheesequake, Red Dragon, Orange Cake, Godbud, Blueberry OG, and 3 Green Kings. And then the sativas or the sativa dominant hybrids that I've got on the list that are low in limonene are mango, Murray sherbet and royal Moby. So hopefully that gives you an idea that even if you're like me and you're trying to avoid too much limonene, there's a ton of strains that are quite low in limonene. So lots to choose from. And yeah, that's about all I got to say on limonene. Hope that's helpful, and speak soon.